All right, boys and girls. Today we're gonna make a cup of tea or cocoa or coffee, whatever one you drink. It's wintertime, it's cold out there, and we need something to warm us up. So we're gonna draw a coffee cup first. So we're gonna use some crayons, and you wanna think about the colors you're gonna choose for your cup. So that's the colors I'm gonna pick for my crayons. So I'm gonna pick orange. I'm sure you knew that already. So I'm gonna pick orange for the mug and the saucer, and then I'll pick some other colors for the patterns. So I have my paper, my sketchbook opened up, and it's portrait style, so I can fit a nice tall coffee cup or hot tea or hot chocolate. And I'm gonna draw some lines, and it's gonna turn into a mug. So let's start. So the first thing I'm gonna draw is two lines side to side. Lines that are side to side that never ever touch are called parallel lines. And I don't want them to be exactly in the middle because I need room for my handle. So I'm gonna start on one side and then go in just a little bit on the other. So I'm gonna take my crayon and I'm gonna draw a straight line up to down. Then I go over a little bit and not all the way over because I wanna leave room for the handle. And I draw another straight line up and down. So now I have the sides of my mug. Then I'm going to connect the two at the bottom with a curved line. This is what's going to make it look three-dimensional, is when you add that curved line. Okay, so there's the bottom of my coffee mug. Now the top. So we want it to look like it's open and it's full of something. So we're going to add an oval at the top. And that's going to make it look like the coffee is, or hot chocolate is in the cup. So I draw an oval, and I like to go over my lines a few times just to make them nice and dark. Now I'm gonna add the handle. So to add a handle, I add a C or a backward C, whatever side you chose to do. Mine's a backward C. And then of course, a smaller one inside. Okay. You can make your handle as fancy as you want to. Now a saucer, because you know it's special, we need a little saucer. Maybe we have some cookies on there or biscuits or crackers or whatever you like to drink or eat with your hot beverage. So now what I'm gonna draw is an oval, but it's not gonna be a complete oval. It's gonna start at the mug and it's gonna go around and it's gonna stop at the other side. But it's gonna be an oval, but just part of one. So I draw it nice and slow. If you want to practice with your pencil first, that's fine too. But if you're ready, just get in there and draw. Okay, so there's my cup and my saucer. Now we want it to look like it's sitting on a table. So I'm gonna pick another color, and this might be my background color. So let's go with green. All right, so I'm gonna draw a line from side to side. This is also the horizon line, even though it's not a landscape. It's a still life. A still life is a picture of objects. Yeah, so we're making a picture of an object, which is called a still life. And I'm gonna draw the horizon line that separates the table from the wall. So I draw a straight line from side to side. If you wanna use a ruler for this, you can. And then I skip where the mug is, and then I draw the other side. So now, I have my picture almost finished. Now the fun part, the patterns. I get to add patterns everywhere, okay? I'm gonna add them on the wall, I'm gonna add them on the table, I'm gonna add them in my mug, the handle, the saucer, everywhere. So I'm gonna use my same colors that I've been using, and I'm gonna go ahead and add some patterns. And I might add a third color for the table. Well, it seems like I'm using secondary color, so I might as well go with purple. All right, so here I go. Here are my patterns. So I added my patterns. I only used 3 colors to start with, but now I'm gonna add lots of colors. So I'm gonna paint everything in. And I'm also gonna paint what's inside my coffee mug. So if it's tea, coffee, or hot chocolate, they're all the same color. They're all brown. So I'm gonna pick some brown inside my mug, and then I'm gonna add lots of color around everything else. I don't want to leave anything blank. So I'm going to do that with my paints, but you guys can color with anything you have. So I'm going to set myself up for paints, and then you'll see me add color. All right, so I have myself set up for paints, and I'm going to go ahead and paint my picture. So of course, I like to prime my paints first. So I add a touch of water and the colors I'm going to pick. And then I let them just sit there for a few moments to get them all primed. I can't forget my brown. All right, now you're gonna see me painting. Here we go. All right, boys and girls, so I painted and colored my picture, but it still needs a little bit more. I still feel like still needs a little bit more detail to it. So if you have the following items, or you can search around your house, use any kind of scraps you have, but a small piece of paper. You can even use the paper in the back of the sketchbook. You just cut a little square, rectangle. I made a little heart design for a little tea bag. I found some string, just a small piece of string, that's all you need, and a cotton ball for some little steam. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue those items on and make it look really fantastic. So here I go. Boys and girls, so I'm all finished with my picture. Oh, I love it. Those last details really make it look like a cup of coffee, or tea, or cocoa, whatever you want. All right, boys and girls, hope you had fun. I'll see you later. Bye.